Hello everybody, welcome along. It's Friday and I'm going super early on our Friday live thing that I do every week, and that's because this afternoon I've got a very important business meeting in a bar. So I'm not going to be around at 3 o'clock, which is awesome. And now I've got a few things to talk to you about, and this has really sort of stemmed from a few nuggets of information I think will be super helpful to you. So I'm just going to rattle them off really quite quickly in the hope that you understand what I'm talking about and can get some real benefit from some of these changes, because every week things change and it's important to keep on top of these things. But I'm going to try and make it so that this is practical stuff that you can do. So the first thing, it's four things. The first thing I want to really talk about today is another change to the Facebook algorithm. It changes all the time. I mean, it literally doesn't seem like a week goes by without there being some kind of change to the algorithm and the way in which, the people who follow your page are going to receive more or less information about the stuff that you post on your page. And sometimes these changes can have quite a negative effect on the amount of people that see your stuff, so it's really important to keep on top of them. But the change this week is actually one that is a positive one if you've got a page, and that's because they're going to promote posts that are deemed to be informative. And it's that informative word that's key here, because what does that mean? We've already seen that it's going to Facebook are going to reduce the amount of people who see clickbait type of posts. That's where the post encourages you to click on a link that then doesn't meet the description that you gave it. So you have to think about what wording you're going to do. But if you've got a post that is really informative, it's going to promote that. So things like what's inspiring you at the moment? What have you seen? What sorts of things can your followers do to get better at something? Now, there are bound to be some keywords that will indicate whether or not a post is deemed to be informative, and I don't know what they are, and I haven't worked out what that is yet. But I think if you can start thinking about ways in which you include, behind the scenes stuff. So if you went to a trade fair or an exhibition, take some pictures, put a post up about what you saw. If there's a way in which you can then relate that to your followers in terms of how they can do something, then that will probably attract more likes and shares and comments, but the Facebook algorithm will show that to more people. Now, I'm looking at the pages that I know that some of you that follow this page produce. There's a lot of that goes on anyway. So I'm a big advocate of that. Please make sure you continue to be informative and add value to your followers wherever possible. And that should see an increase in reach. It would be great if you can do some of that and let me know what you have found out from that. If you can do that quickly and put a comment here, then even better. But otherwise, leave a post on my Facebook page and tell me what you found out, and we can work out together whether that's any good. Also on the subject of Facebook, we've also got changes to search. So Facebook is actually running out, apparently, of ad space, and that's because everyone's cottoned on to the fact that it's really cheap and it delivers great results. That doesn't mean anything for us who are advertising or boosting posts yet, but I have spoken before about the importance of Facebook search, that little box that you get right at the top of the app or on the Facebook page. As time goes on, people are going to search more and more for information about products and services that they need via Facebook. And if Facebook can keep you within Facebook, then they'll try and do that. So what you need to try and do is make sure that you enhance your page to ensure that you are going to be right at the top of that list. And that's relatively straightforward to do, and here's how you do it. The first thing that you do is get your page verified, business verified. That's a grey tick that you see. If you go into your page settings, you'll see a verification section. Follow the instructions on that. It's relatively straightforward to do. You put in a telephone number, it will call you, and it will try and verify your page. If it doesn't work over the telephone, then it might need you to send some documents to Facebook, but getting a verified grey tick on your page will ensure that you are higher up the search results. The next thing that you can do is fill out all of the details in your About section. Put in an address, contact details, website, email, whatever it is you can do. Put in your short and long descriptions, choose the right category. Make sure you fill out as much of your settings as possible, and that will help you get your search, get your page right at the search results. In addition to that, because people are going to then be provided with posts as results that people search on, it's also really important to think about the words that you use in your posts. If you have certain keywords that define who you are, what your business does, then try and use those keywords in your posts relatively frequently. Not all the time in every single post, because that would be a bad user experience for your readers. But if you can try and make sure that you include your keywords in your post, then you're going to be found for people searching for the things that you want them to find. Next up, third out of 4 is Pinterest. Pinterest is going through some really interesting changes. They will say that they're not a social network, that they're an e-commerce platform, and that's definitely the way that it's going. But they are releasing video for ads. So if you don't use Pinterest, fine. If you use Pinterest as a business, then you need to make sure you have a business account, and then you'll have access to ads. And when you have access to ads, you can start creating promoted pins, but you will now be able to use video. Video is important because we are consuming more and more video content as users of social media, and video gets greater engagement, gets greater results. So if you can create some video and you can upload it, then you will see an improvement in the sorts of engagement that you get. But if you're going to use Pinterest, then you can start using video in your ads that you do. So that's going to be fantastic. The other thing that's happening on Pinterest is that they are including sharing options now for Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Why is that important? Well, it's just about giving people the option to share your pins, your products, your articles that you're putting up on Pinterest out to other people. That's what you want. You want people talking about you. So if they can do that via Facebook and Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp, then it gives people additional options. Okay, final piece, 4 out of 4, is Twitter. And all I'm going to say really about Twitter is that if you didn't know this already, know this now. Every single person can now apply to be verified on Twitter. So if you have a Twitter account, whether you're using it for brand or whether you're using it in a personal capacity, you can now go to verification.twitter.com and apply to be verified. You fill out a form, you give them a couple of references of websites where you appear, and they will then try and, match you with your profile. And if they agree that you're that person, they will try and verify you. Why are they letting this out? Well, apparently they recognise that they have a problem with trolls, and they are looking at ways in which they can start to hide trolls. So by having a verified account, they might start doing things like giving people options to hide posts that aren't from verified accounts. Who knows? But again, good for your business, good for search. If you've got a business account on Twitter, I would definitely recommend that you get verified. It can be, it's not tricky, but I've tried it. They rejected mine, and who knows why, because they don't actually say, but I'm assuming that because there's another Paul Ince, there might be a bit of an issue with that, but we will see. If you try and get verified and you have some difficulties, it would be great for you to share that experience. Otherwise, if you do get verified, then please post on here and tell people that you're verified. I'd really like to find out how many people can get verified and see if we can establish what benefits that brings and maybe share that story. Brilliant. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. If you've got any comments, then put them in the comments bit below. If you've got any questions or anything you want me to talk about in another one of these, then again, do the same thing. Otherwise, as always, like and share. It's great. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week.